Hi, I'm Pete. A couple of interns here at Deephaven spent a few weeks this summer simulating what Major League Baseball's Beat the Streak Fantasy League would be like if all the data were anonymized and open so people could watch each other's streaks and progress across the fantasy league. And if the league updated in real time, pitch by pitch. We took a look and think it'd be pretty fantastic both for fans and the MLB. Let's take a look. 2022 was kind of a great year for monitoring at bats. It'd be awesome if the MLB could give us all the opportunity to easily watch single at bats, particularly in real time. Just check a box next to the players you love, get notifications when they're on deck, and then just watch the at bats live. It'd be fun. I don't know. I think it'd attract younger fans, sort of bite-sized baseball. These ideas make me think about MLB's Beat the Streak game. As you likely know, it's a fantasy game where you try to beat Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak by picking different players day after day. Major League Baseball will pay you $5.6 million if you get to 57 games. MLB must see potential in this fantasy game because this year they launched a podcast about it. We'd love the MLB to do two things to make BTS quite a bit better, we think. Number one, open up the league so we can watch each other's streaks, like who's getting extended and who's not. How long are they, etc. Number two, make ball, strike, and plate appearance outcome data available in real time so that the whole Beat the Streak league updates pitch by pitch. Here at Deephaven, we wanted to show what such an interactive league might be like. We have good software for real-time data, and remember, we had a couple of interns that did some work. We wanted to show what a real-time experience might be like, pitch by pitch, for both MLB hitters and for fantasy streakers. So we simulated a league of some 200,000 BTS fake streakers, if you like. We all know that a 57-game streak takes both luck and skill. Success is driven by the likelihood of your player getting a hit in a game, per the pink column here. This table shows you that in the bottom half that 4 plate appearances is much better than 3, as you'd expect, and that the odds are really long unless you can find players with maybe a mid 70% chance of getting a hit. Since we needed our 200,000 fake streakers to make smart choices, we coded up some other people's quant models to help with hit prediction. We used models from Ryan McKenna, Pedro Alcio, Northwestern University, and a couple of others. But when we ran them against Josh Silver's model, his both outperformed by a little and nicely had a website we could just scrape daily. Here, the third column shows hits expected, which is not the same as probability of a hit in the game, but certainly can drive informed player selections for Beat the Streak. Look, in my opinion, all of these models are a bit dated and underutilizing StatCast data, and therefore require much longer histories for statistical significance than I think is pertinent for baseball. But improving quant models wasn't quite our mandate, so we moved on. We wanted to show what experiences around an open and real-time Beat the Streak league might be like. This dashboard uses Deephaven's generic table widgets, but one could imagine adding all sorts of custom JavaScript interfaces to map to the data in the backend. Deephaven's pretty easy that way. Let's go through it quickly. Again, using Singularity as a guide, we had 4 cohorts in the simulation. One with 40,000 streakers just picking randomly, then 3 cohorts using the Singularity model with increasing finickiness. You can see that only picking players predicted to get at least 1.1 hits per game did the best, with 10% of streaks lasting 8 games or longer. However, the longest streak, it was a lucky one, came from a slightly less picky robot streaker. One simulated streaker broke the DiMaggio record, and yes, hit 57. First, okay, let's see how lucky that 57 was. Pretty lucky, it turns out. There was 149 and 3 streaks of 46, but hey, we know it requires some freaky luck. Maybe DiMaggio would even agree. Small aside here, using a 70% discount rate, it's kind of glaring to see that a 46-game win streak only has $110,000 of value. There's still a long road to hoe, I guess. Anyway, if I look at all the streaks for all the contestants, we're talking 17 million streaks in all. In a 2021 New York Times article, MLB shared that 4.5 million Beat the Streak players had accumulated over 100 million streaks. Clearly, our 200,000 simulated robots are more active than the average player. They don't stop playing, they start up again after they lose. And maybe 17 million streaks in a year is a lot, but if so, it's off by a factor of 2, I think, not more. Looking at that winning 57, if I double click here on the terminal streaks tab, and then I go to the all streaks tab, you'll see that it's filtered to the contestant and their winning streak number. You can see that on August 4th, Javier Baez had a ground ball in the third inning, hypothetically winning streaker number 51367 a cool $5.6 million. Look, the 57 was fun to observe, but it was never the point. It was just a lucky simulation, that's all. We're particularly fascinated about how much fun BTS would be if the data was openly available and if played outcomes were ready for all of us in real time. Here you can see a simulation of balls and strikes across the league. This is a replay of October 2nd, all of it in the right order, just sped up a little bit so we can see a pitch every few seconds across the league. You can see the event column light up if there's a plate appearance outcome, and then the hit indicator 1 or 0 depending on if it's a hit. You can see all the hits so far today. The key is that if the league data is also open, then we can pipe plate appearances to MLB hitter outcomes for the game, and then to streakers' choices to see which streaks were extended and which were not. This is all open source gear. With the league data and real-time pitches, anyone in the community could create analytics pretty easily. Here we show simple ones like which players, teams, and stadiums are popular choices today and this season, how many times each hitter was chosen, or even what the historical picking patterns are for the whole season for that contestant number of 51367 that had the lucky streak. The nice thing about centralizing both full histories and real-time data in Deephaven is that the community can use our open source tools to just have at it. Build your own dashboards, write analytics or apps using table operations, Python, Java, whatever, simple stuff, sophisticated stuff, you name it. People can just interrogate the data. It happens to be that on the second my dad texted me, "Hey Pete, how many times have Judge, Freeman, and Trey Turner all been in the lineup but failed to get a hit?" Well, let's see. I can pull up their plate appearances and filter for plate appearance outcomes, then easily aggregate and join in a quick calculation about whether they played. So like how many studs were in the lineup that day, 1, 2, or 3. And then look, pops. It's happened 4 times this year. So it was freakish, but not that freakish. But we can also do this interrogation and exploration in real time. Let's look at today's pitchers and just track in real time their balls, strikes, and the last plate appearance outcome. See? Really easy. Very powerful stuff. And imagine if we had the StatCast data here too. I hope many of you think that Beat the Streak and actually MLB fans would be well served if the league was made public, probably in anonymized forms that we could see what other streakers are doing. And also if basic pitch-by-pitch data was made available in real time. I mean, that'd be enough. It'd be fantastic. But in an era of TikTok, is that 17.8 billion views there? Well, imagine if MLB could provide easy experiences so we can all see individual at-bats live or whenever we want them. I mean, that'd be a home run.